Anger and unforgiveness are the enemies of correct understanding. Mahatma Gandhi. A small spark that gradually spreads, burning away all seeds of true understanding. When anger surges, reason is obscured like the sky covered by dark clouds, causing people to view life through the distorted lens of hurt and resistance. Words spoken then no longer serve as bridges to connect, but become sharp blades that tear apart fragile relationships. Unforgiveness is like a heavy stone pressing on the heart, holding painful memories tightly within, not allowing them to fade with time, leaving people forever trapped in the past like wanderers, unable to find a way out of the desert. Only when we learn to let go, like releasing a dry leaf to drift with the current, can we feel the lightness and clarity of the soul, where compassion sprouts like fresh grass after the rain. True understanding does not come from winning arguments, but from the ability to listen with an open heart, seeing others as reflections of ourselves in the mirror of emotions. When anger is soothed by peace and forgiveness replaces resentment, people not only regain clarity but also open the door to love, where the light of empathy spreads, warming even the darkest corners of the soul, making each step on life's journey lighter, deeper, and full of hope. People often feel suffering from many things more than necessary. Some things torment us before they actually happen, and others torment us when in reality there's no need for it. Seneca. People are like wanderers carrying an invisible backpack filled with worries that haven't yet occurred, memories that haven't yet faded, and exaggerated imaginings of pain, making each step on life's path heavier than necessary. There are pains that haven't even arrived yet, but our minds build them up like a great storm. The wind hasn't come, but the heart is already swaying. The rain hasn't fallen, but the heart is already soaked in sadness. We worry about tomorrow as if it's certain to collapse, trembling before things that haven't formed, thus imprisoning ourselves in a cage of thoughts, where hope is obscured by the fog of anxiety. Then there are sufferings as small as grains of sand, but through the magnifying lens of emotions, they become towering mountains blocking our view, making us think we can't overcome them. Even at times, life isn't as harsh as we think. It's just that our hearts are too sensitive to every contrary wind, turning each small collision into a deep wound. If people learn to live fully in the present, like a flower blooming under the sun without worrying about tomorrow's rain, then suffering will lighten like clouds dispersing at the end of the sky. When we understand that most sadness comes from overthinking rather than reality, we can release that invisible burden, making our steps serene, our gaze clearer, and our soul open to embrace life with peace, gentleness, and full of hope. We expect praise from those who blame themselves every 15 minutes, approval from individuals who despise themselves. Marcus Aurelius. People sometimes resemble those thirsty in the desert, but seeking fragile dewdrops on dry leaves, hoping to quench the soul's thirst with praise from those who don't yet value themselves. We await recognition from hearts that self-blame, where every 15 minutes echoes whispers of disappointment and self-doubt, like an old clock incessantly ticking with inferiority. We seek approval from people who despise their own worth, like asking for light from a lamp nearly out of oil. In that vicious cycle, we hand over the judgment of our happiness to unsteady souls, so when they are silent or cold, we feel small and empty like a sail without wind. In truth, praise from those who don't love themselves is often fragile like sea foam, dissolving upon touch, not enough to nourish deep, lasting faith in our hearts. Only when people learn to listen to the gentle voice from their own inner self, like sitting by a warm fire on a long winter night, will we understand that our value doesn't need to be measured by others' eyes. When self-respect sprouts like a green shoot after hard soil, we no longer crave patchwork recognitions, but walk steadily in peace. And at that moment, whether the world is noisy or indifferent, our hearts remain full, because the source of love has begun to flow from the most important place, ourselves. Though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. Karl Barth. Time is like a river that never flows backward, carrying away old days with both joys and mistakes, leaving behind shores of memories that we can't step back to again. People often gaze at the past like a closed door, regretting things not done in time, pained by incomplete choices, and wishing to return to the starting point to rewrite their life story with finer strokes. But life isn't a book that can be flipped backward. It's a journey always opening forward, where each present moment is the pen in our hand. Even if yesterday was gloomy like the sky before a storm, today can still be a gentle dawn tinting the clouds pink if we have the courage to step out from the shadow of regret. Starting from now is like sowing a new seed into once barren soil. It may have been cracked by drought, but with a shower of determination and perseverance, the green shoot can still rise strongly. A new ending isn't erasing what is past, but turning it into fertilizer for growth, transforming sorrow into wisdom and stumbles into momentum. When people understand that the present is the most precious gift, they will no longer be bound by the past, but walk with bright eyes like a traveler seeing a wide open road ahead. And from this very moment, with small but sincere choices, we can weave a brilliant conclusion to our life story, where hope blooms, faith takes root, and the future is written with all love and resilience. Reflect on how many things have happened that you didn't want, but in the end, they made you better. Musonius Rufus. A winding path covered in gravel, where not every turn leads us to where we once dreamed, but many of them bring us to a more mature version of ourselves. There are events that arrive like off-season rain, soaking the plans we cherished, sweeping away unfinished dreams, making us feel like the sky has just collapsed before our eyes. At that time, we blame fate, pained by loss, and wonder why we have to go through such dark days. Yet time quietly does the work of a skilled craftsman, polishing each scratch in the soul into depths of understanding, turning each tear into pearls of resilience. The unwanted things teach us how to stand firm in storms, to cherish sunshine after rain, and to learn to love ourselves in our weakest moments. Like a tree that must endure strong winds to root deeply into the earth, people also need adversity to stretch beyond old limits. When looking back at the path traveled, we suddenly realize many doors that slammed shut before us actually led to wider paths, where the heart becomes more tolerant, thoughts more mature, and dreams clearer. It is those uninvited challenges that quietly nurture resolve, so we not only survive but live beautifully, deeply, and meaningfully. And in that moment of realization, we smile at the past with gratitude, because without those things that once caused pain, we might not have become the strong and complete person we are today. If you want to improve yourself, be content with being considered foolish and stupid. Epictetus. Like stepping into a strange forest at dawn, where the fog is still thick and the path unclear, we must accept stumbling steps, falls that look clumsy in others' eyes. Sometimes we ask naive questions, try things no one has done, fail at seemingly simple tasks, only to be met with pitying or mocking glances. But in that foolish appearance, the seed of maturity is quietly sprouting. Those who always fear being seen as stupid will forever stand outside the door of learning, like someone who doesn't dare enter the water for fear of getting wet and never learns to swim. True wisdom doesn't begin by pretending to know everything, but starts from the courage to admit we don't know, aren't skilled, and have much to discover. Each mistake is a scribble in life's notebook, looking ugly but helping us write better on later pages. Being laughed at today may be a small price for tomorrow's steadiness, like a rough stone that must endure grinding to become a shining gem. When we dare to learn with humility, dare to try without fear of shame, the path of development opens wide like a field after rain. And then one day, we realize the moments that made us look most foolish were the foundation for later confidence, wisdom, and strength. For in the journey of self-improvement, those who dare to be fools today are often the steadiest tomorrow, light, profound, and strong from those seemingly trivial lessons.